Today's podcast is sponsored by Bodibro. Bodibro are a sportswear company based in County Wexford. Be sure to check out their website and social media accounts, and I will leave the links to them in the video description. So Orla, thanks very much for coming on. How have you been managing the last 2 or 3 months?
Great. It's fine, I suppose. I suppose I was away in Australia for the past 6 months, so I've been away from my family and friends. So kind of being back home and being in kind of lockdown hasn't been too bad for me since I've been away for so long. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with some fitness, doing some gym and running, and just kind of taking every day as it comes. And hopefully soon we'll find out what the story will be this season.
Yeah, has it been hard to stay sort of motivated because you don't know when you'll be returning to action?
Yeah, I suppose everyone kind of has that doubt in their heads. Yeah, some days are worse than others. I suppose I'm lucky. I have my sister who's on the Tipperary Intermediate Camogie team, so we kind of do a lot of running and gym together as well, so that helps. And then we do some Zoom classes as well with the squads too, and then just kind of keeping in touch and touching bases with friends and other teammates helps too, so just kind of keep up with that, really.
Yeah, you play both football and camogie with Tipperary. I suppose firstly, is that hard to balance the two in a normal year?
Yeah, I suppose sometimes are worse than others. And a couple of times I had to play 2 games at the weekend, so maybe a camogie match Saturday and then a football Sunday or vice versa. And that can be tough both physically and mentally as well, kind of switching over to the other sport and just with a new different group of girls as well. But I always say I'm privileged to be able to play both. A lot of people mightn't be able to, or some squads mightn't allow it. So the managers have been great. They communicate very well regards training and stuff. So I suppose I'm lucky in that way. So I suppose I keep it up for as long as I can.
Yeah, it probably has positive and negatives that you might play a camogie game on the Saturday and you might have some sort of football thing on the Sunday. Does it have a negative impact in your sort of performances in different codes at times?
I suppose, yeah. One time actually, I think it was 2 years ago, I'd play a football match in Nina in Tipperary at 1 o'clock, and that evening at 5 I had to play a camogie match in the Rag, which is around 25 minutes away from each other, but that was 2 in the one day, and that was extremely tough. I thought I could do it, playing a full game and then into the other one, but I think your legs kind of just die on you and just you can't really continue going there. But with the 2 games in the 2 days, I suppose it's recovery, getting as much as you can in that short space of time, nutrition, eating, sleeping, doing the basics right, and then I suppose just forgetting about maybe if the camogie was on Saturday and just focus on the football for that day and just trying to plough through that, I suppose.
Yeah, you won the All-Ireland intermediate title with the Tip footballers there against Meath last year. So what was it like firstly playing in Croke Park?
Yeah, it was amazing. That was my second time playing in Croke Park. We won it again in 2017, the intermediate finals. So yeah, no, it's always such a great privilege to play there, and I think every kind of GA player wants to play there. It's the end kind of goal to reach Croke Park, and it was such an amazing experience, and just seeing all the fans there as well and support as well was great. And after training so long with the girls, to get there and to win it as well is obviously huge. People always say that Croke Park can be a very lonely place if losing, so I've been lucky with 2 occasions to get 2 wins, but yeah, I suppose everyone looks forward to it and stuff, end goal at the end of the year.
Yeah, as you said, you won in 2017. Is it like you're nearly in between the top of intermediate and the bottom of senior at the moment?
Yeah, I suppose 2018 was a hard year for us. We moved up to senior, and we were just unlucky with some of the games we got. We just came short in a few that we could have won. And going back down to intermediate then at the start was a big kind of plateau. But I suppose we had the same kind of group. We got a few new younger girls in, and we knew that we could get to final stages and just to get over the line and be up senior now again. And they did very well with Division 1 league this year. So we were looking forward to a good championship season, seeing how that goes. So hopefully that still goes ahead at some stage.
Yeah, do you actually like the sort of senior, intermediate, junior in camogie and ladies football? Obviously, the men don't have that.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it can be difficult at times. Like that there is a different standard between the, let's say, senior and intermediate and junior. But I think it just depends on the teams you're playing against, and obviously everyone wants to be up in senior and to get there. So to be up in Division 1 now is great, and the senior football, I think we'd have a good chance this year as well. So just trying to make the most out of it, I suppose.
Yeah, is the trainings even every year now getting more intense with the level of quality and fitness is improving every year in the ladies game?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that big part of that is the background team as well, with strength and conditioning coaches coming in, and you've all these people who know so much. And again, it's very competitive as well. Both teams that I'm involved with, there's such competitiveness between all the players want to get in the starting panels, and even seeing more girls playing it as well. It's becoming really big, and it's great to see so many teams involved as well with the sports. So yeah, no, I suppose there's always that edge there, and then pre-season as well. Everyone has, and everyone's involved in gyms now as well. So it's getting better and better. And I think when I went to Australia, I realised that as well, how ahead they are as well with just all that training, conditioning, fitness, and injury prevention as well, which is massive.
Yeah, do you think maybe ladies football is just ahead of camogie, maybe in marketing, and that even attendances at All Ireland finals is just that bit ahead, and camogie might have to catch up a tiny bit more?
Yeah, I suppose more kind of counties do play football. When you look at the camogie, like the All Ireland finals last year, like sometimes you might have a Cork intermediate and senior team in the camogie, or the same with Galway. And then with football, there's more variety, more different counties playing it. So that obviously has a huge impact with supporters if they're from the same county or different counties. But I think since Lyle came on board, they've been huge with the football, and it's great to see that both camogie and football are both with attendances improving each year, and it's great to see that there is so much involvement in both and that they're both doing really well, so hopefully that continues.
Yeah, and obviously you had a spell over in Australia just there earlier in the year. How did that come about, firstly?
So I applied for Cross Coders. Cross Coders is kind of an agency that a few of the girls got in through, and they kind of help people get into the AFLW through other sports, cross-coding through other sports. So I applied with them back in January, I think, or February, after seeing like Ashley McCarthy, who plays tip football with me. She went over there the year before, and I said I'd just give it a try and apply and see how I got on. And I was lucky enough that a few clubs approached me after I sent in my profile, and they've watched a few clips and a few games that I played. And when it came down to it, I chose Brisbane Lions as the kind of team to go with, and I was really happy with that decision. And Jason Hill who's over the cross coders. He was great at kind of the liaison between the two. I had a few interviews with him, then also with Brisbane Lions, and kind of just happened naturally then, I suppose, that I was so grateful to get the opportunity to go, and I was happy I went.
Yeah, was it a no-brainer once the offers came in that you were going to go?
Yeah, definitely. It's always, I think, every athlete's dream to get to play professional. So once going over there, the women are semi-professionals, so that was huge. And just seeing all the kind of background staff they had, everything they have, from nutritionists to the well-being coaches they have, to all that medical staff as well. It really, because it was an eye-opener, and I think it's stuff I'll bring back to camogie and football here as well.
Yeah, as you said there, you probably can use it to your advantage that you've seen the professional sort of setup over in Australia and bring it back to Ireland.
Yeah, Definitely.
And then sort of the move to Australia, was it difficult to adapt to sort of the lifestyle over there, because it's nearly like a different world? It's so far away from Ireland.
Yeah, I suppose I've always lived at home as well, so I'd be very close kind of with my family and kind of known as kind of home birds. So moving to Australia was obviously huge for me. I kind of was a bit daunting at the start of going over on my own on a plane for that length of time. But once I got there, the Brisbane Lions, there was the manager and CEO, and then a few of the girls welcomed me at the airport with flowers, and we went for breakfast and stuff. I think it was like 6:30 in the morning when I got there, which is when they all get up, which is crazy. But and then moving into a house with some of the teammates as well. really helped me kind of settle in. But yeah, it was daunting going over at the start, especially I remember training. I went over a few weeks before training started, and just to kind of get a feel for the ball. I'd never played it before, and I remember going for a kick with a few of the girls, and I couldn't do it. I thought I was so far behind. It was so hard to get used to. But no, it's great.
Yeah, is the ball the big difference, I suppose? And I know it's probably more physical than ladies football as well, but is the ball the main difference?
Yeah, I suppose just the uncertainty. You don't know where it's going to bounce. You don't know what it's going to do. So I used to spend a lot of time with coaches and some of the players as well, just getting used to that kicking. But on top of that, I think the most challenging part about playing the game was, I suppose, doubting yourself. Because coming from playing camogie and football, which I've played for the last 15 years, you know the game. You probably know the person you're marking. You know all your teammates you've trained with. It was just completely different then going over to a new game, new team, new rules. It was just, you always kind of had that doubt in your head, was I good enough to play it? But I suppose just practice and I think that was the main thing, just keep kicking, keep getting used to it, and don't be afraid to ask loads of questions, which is what I kept doing. And yeah, no, it was great. It was a great challenge, and I really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, and the matches themselves, what's the intensity like compared to, again, the camogie and ladies football over here?
The game is a lot more stop-start, so there's a lot of stoppages in the game. But the physicality obviously is huge, the contact. I remember at the start when I was playing, and even to this day, when the opposition gets the ball, I'd be more kind of putting pressure or kind of shadowing, whereas they'd go in and tackle straight away, but it wouldn't be natural for me from playing the Gaelic. So I suppose it's just getting used to things like that. And yeah, the intent, there is a lot of, there's also kind of interchange players as well. So you might be on for 3 or 4 minutes, come off, go back on again. So it's kind of a lot stop-start, which can be good, but also hard to get into the game as well at times. But yeah, I suppose that was getting used to as well. And also lots of different rules. I think there's a 50-metre penalty rule. I broke it a few times for running through the mark. Which I knew about, but I just keep forgetting about as well. When you're in that headspace, you just completely forget about it. So just getting used to them rules.
Yeah, obviously a lot of ladies players have gone over there. Does it work well with the ladies football and camogie calendars the season over in Australia?
Yeah, so far I think that was one of the main reasons why I did decide to go, because I wouldn't really be missing anything here besides the league and college. I'm in UL, so I missed out a year of college, but also the O'Connor Cup and Ashburn season there. But yeah, pre-season starts in November, and then the league over there starts in kind of end of January, February, and goes on till April. So then when you come back to Ireland, the season here will be starting around June, kind of end of May, June. So you kind of get the championship season in, but you just miss out on the league. So I think that was obviously a big plus for me going. I knew that I wasn't missing that much, so it was great.
Yeah, as you said, you're still in college as well, so you're nearly juggling so many things all at once at the moment.
Yeah, I decided to take a leave of absence last year. I have 2 years done in UL PE teaching, so I suppose now it's just the uncertainty of what's going to happen next, deciding if to go back or if GA is going to happen, and then I have also college. I can only take a 2-year leave of absence, so I've decided if I'm going to go back this year or wait a year. So it's all up in the air, I suppose, and just waiting for some answers.
Yeah, would the future be to keep playing the AFWL over there?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I think also being away from playing camogie and football for a certain amount of months makes you realise how much you love it and how much you miss it as well. And I was really looking forward to coming back in May and getting straight into the camogie and football season as well. So I think, I don't know, it's a hard one to decide. And I think in the next few weeks, hopefully I have some more answers about what I'm going to do. But for the moment, I'm just going to kind of just take every day as it comes and see what to do next.
Yeah, was it nearly more just to try test it out? You probably regret if you didn't even try it out.
Yeah, especially just, I think last year was more like, it was like a trial and error year. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what pre-season would look like. I didn't know what the games would look like. So I think just, I'd love to go back and just give it another shot and just see how I get on or what I could do better, because knowing what I already did from last year, But you never know. Depends what happens.
Yeah, and then I suppose to wrap up, what would be your future aims with the Tipperary Camogie and Ladies football team in the next year or two?
Sorry, I missed that question.
What would be the aims in the next year or two with the Tipperary and Camogie teams?
I think a huge thing with the Camogie is in the last 2 years we've reached semi-finals, but we just never got over the line of getting to Northern Ireland finals. So I think they were doing really well this year as well. They were in the league final with the Camogie. So trying to get to Croke Park obviously would be huge for the Camogie to get to the All Ireland finals, which we haven't in years. And then with the football, not be relegated and stay up senior, maybe get to maybe a quarter or semi-final as well. We had a very strong team, lots of good underage girls coming through, and obviously huge experience there as well. So I think Tipperary Camogie and football will do very well this year in championships. So hopefully we get the chance to see that.